L'chaim to everyone. A good night of Shabbos. As I mentioned earlier, this is a special Shabbos. It's Shabbos Chazak. We finished the book of Numbers, the parsha of Matos Maseh. We also blessed the new month of Av. And although Av is a sad time, it's a time of introspection. And we think about the reasons that caused the destruction of the temple and how we could make up for that. The name is not just Av, but it's Menachem Av, which means the Father that comforts us. Because ultimately, we take solace in knowing that God is infinite and kind and loving. And even in the depth of our challenges, He's there to be with us. In this week's Torah portion, and we spoke about it a lot, the 2.5 tribes who are going to stand in the Transjordan, they come to Moses. And they say, listen, Moses, we have a lot of cattle. And we know that the land is fertile on the Transjordan, so we'll stay there. Moshe gets upset at them, right? I told you this. And he says, what, are you kidding me? The next, it's deja vu with the spies again? I can't believe this. And they say, no. We are going to build pens for our cattle. Then we're going to build homes for our children. Then we're going to go to fight in Israel, to fight to conquer the land. And once the land is conquered and settled, we'll come back to our families. Moses agrees. But Moses makes one change. He says, The 2.5 tribes tell Moshe, we will make gidros litzonenu, pens for our cattle, and then we will build homes for our children and families. And Moshe says, really? First you will build homes for your children and families, and only afterwards will you build pens for your cattle. Moshe was telling them, don't make the ikar, the tafel, and the tafel, the ikar. You know what that means? In Judaism, we have a law. There's the ikar is the main thing, and the tafel is the side that comes with it. For example, if you're eating a piece of salami with a cracker, but you really want to eat the salami, it happens to have a little cracker on it. So the main thing is the salami, and the cracker is not. So you make a blessing on one, you don't make on the other. So says Moshe to the Jewish people, seriously? You're going to build pens for your cattle before you build homes for your children? You're focusing on the detail and not on the most important thing. In life, that's what happens sometimes. We lose focus of what's the means and what's the end. And ultimately, we focus sometimes on the end, forget the means. On the means, but forget the end. You could be sitting with your children, and your business partner calls you, and you take the phone and you're texting with them, you're not even looking at your family. The same could be true with our Judaism. The same could be true with all the things in our life. Says Moshe, remember the children come first, the cattle comes afterwards. The cattle represents our monetary blessings, the abundance of materialism we have, the cars, the houses, the toys, the phones, the iPads. Says Moshe, you got to do it the other way. I'll agree for you to stay in the Transjordan, but remember what comes first. Remember what's the most important thing. Which brings me to our children, to education. At the end of the day, the greatest thing for a Yid, for a Jew, is our children. The way we nurture them, the way we raise them, the love we give them, the values we instill them with, the character we build up in them. And we live in a dangerous world. We live in a world that's topsy-turvy, that's upside down. Values, morals, character is irrelevant. It's out the window. And it's the responsibility of us parents to nurture and educate and instill within our children the love for Judaism, the love for life, the love for the values and the morals that the Torah teaches us. Don't rely on your school. Don't rely on your teachers. Don't rely on the camps. It's our responsibility. And what Moshe is telling the Jewish people is, don't forget what comes first. And what's the ikar, what's the most important, and what's the tafel, what's irrelevant. My blessing to all of you is that Hashem should bless each and every one of you. That, first of all, you should have a good Shabbos. And it should be a Shabbos of blessing. should be chazak, v'nit chazek. We should get the strength and the character and the fortitude to forge ahead as proud Jews, always celebrating our Judaism, wearing it on our sleeve, being proud of it, and instilling that in our children. And we should be blessed that in our lives, we should always remember what's the ikar and what's the tafel, what's important and what just comes with it. Chaim and Shabbat Shalom to all of you.